Every day. Every day I log on Instagram, it is something new with you girls. Every day. What's up, everybody? It's your girl Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for tuning into my video today. I wanted to bring you another side conversation as it is related to RHOA, y'all. When I tell y'all, baby, these peaches, the peaches got me so tired. I am so tired.
What you say?
Motherfucker tired.
What?
Motherfucker tired.
You what?
Motherfucker tired.
Before we get into today's hot topics, go ahead and hit the like button for me. When you hit the like button, it is a free way to support the channel and also let YouTube know that I am here and that you all are rocking with my commentary. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting as well. All right, so we have a few things to address. First things first is Porsha's comments on her YouTube channel at Porsha For Real. Now, I already explained this to y'all in the last video, and I'm going to have to talk about it in my review because I haven't talked about this officially, but there are certain people when they speak, my eyes kind of just glaze over and I check out of reality and I go into another dimension. So I can only take Porsha in small doses. Like my friend sent me a 4-minute clip yesterday. I couldn't even listen to it. I could only listen to 2 minutes. I said, sister, you're going to have to transcribe the rest for me because I couldn't. I'm like that with Angela Oakley too. I don't know if it's like, if I take in what they're saying as like BS. I don't know if it's like the frequency of their voice where I'm just like, something about it makes me check. It happens at work too. It's not just, you know, certain individuals, but it could be like their voice, the sound of their voice. I don't even know. It could be that Porsha lies all the time. I'm not going to play all these clips, but let's just go ahead and dissect what Porsha is saying. First things first. Let's take a look at this screenshot. Kenya is responding to Porsha and saying, absolutely no one on the show gave me anything. Stop using my situation for clickbait. Porsha responded to her and said, that's a lie. We talked day and night and I personally went to the network/production and fought for you before you showed her underage explicit pics. I also went after as well because I was hurt. You had to leave. I checked on you because I cared and care. I'm not your enemy, at Kenya. Porsha, this is why the people say you're not smart. This is why. If you expose something that nobody knows, if you this is breaking news, if this is true, right? Where did Porsha get this information from, by the way? We have to start vetting the information that Porsha tells. Okay, that's the first thing. But Porsha said, I'm not your enemy. Babes, this is exactly what enemies do. You're not her enemy. You're not her friend. I don't know. Listen, I take everything that Porsha says with a grain of salt. Porsha loves the way a lie feels in her mouth. She loves the spice that it adds to her tongue when she's telling a lie. Porsha loves a nasty piece of an allegation. So this is why I'm just like, I can't take Porsha seriously. Have we heard this before? Has anybody brought this to the table aside from Porsha? No. Now, if it's true, of course, I'll come back and I'll have to eat my words. But Porsha tells so many lies that it's just hard to believe anything that comes out of her mouth. Now, the only thing that makes this piece of information a little bit questionable at this point is how Laura Croft, aka Brit, came onto this show bragging about being a teenager in men's magazines and in videos. Porsha also said that when Aeon Flux was going on about, you know, pistols and whips, what she meant by whips was cars. Porsha, I don't like calling people stupid, but you always tempt me. So when she threatened her with a whip, what was the threat there? That she was going to run her over with her car? Okay. Porsha also said that someone on the show now, somebody who's there now, tried to get Kenya fired multiple times. Now, let's just entertain that this is true. Who do we think that it could be? Get down in the comments. Now, I think that it could be between Kelly and Phaedra because, Kelly was riding so hard for Brittany in the beginning. I could see that. I could also see it being maybe Cynthia. Cynthia's a friend of. And remember, whenever, I think Nene said that Cynthia tried to get her removed from the show. So it could be Cynthia, according to her track record. It could also be Phaedra. Now, that would be scandalous because it's like, y'all supposed to be freaking fraud. I mean, freaking frack. So if she's airing out Phaedra's tea, I mean, it wouldn't really be a shock because Porsha is not loyal to anybody. Actually, she did show a lot of loyalty to Phaedra. So I don't know. So we'll have to see what is to come of that. She also says that Angela didn't want to share anything personal when they were all sitting at the table at the bank playing that game, where they were kind of asking each other questions. She said that she decided to make a joke about Charles and say she had the tea on him. And she said later in that night, Angela picked up a glass and started banging on it with a spoon to get everybody's attention. And she tried to have a moment with Porsha like, what do you know about my man? Da-da-da-da-da. So Portia's like, oh my God, girl, calm down. It was just a joke. You know what I personally hate? I hate when people say something that is offensive and you go off about it or you confront them about it. And then all of a sudden, oh, it's just a joke. Oh, it's just jokes. This whole business of like joking with people in a certain way, joking when you don't know them. If you don't know me to joke like that, don't tell no jokes at me and my husband's expense. If you don't know people like that, you cannot joke with them in a certain way. So as far as I'm concerned, it's not a joke. It's just that for whatever reason, you decided to walk it back because you didn't want the smoke with her. Now, I don't know how Angela approached you because, people don't play about their husbands. But Porsha, you're 43. You should know that people don't play about their husbands. Leave these married men alone, Porsha. It's always something going on with you and somebody's husband. It's a pattern. Now, when Charles reads your ass at the reunion, I don't want to hear shit. There are a few things that I want to address about what Colombiana, aka Brit Edie, said in her interview with Access Hollywood when she said that Kenya needs to humble herself. Both of y'all need to humble yourself, but I don't think that you should be the one to say that. Also, this bit about being upset that the girls rallied around Kenya, they have known her for over a decade. Why would they not? They all have relationships with her. You're the one who just barely started going here. So the fact that you're surprised that they're showing support to her just lets me know that, I don't know, you run a little bit on delusion. When she said that what Kenya did is 100 times worse. I just feel like the girls don't really know how to do this media shit. I feel like if you just came in here completely owning your part and that you are the reason that all of this shit got jumped off, and ultimately, you feel like you let the show and the fans down, I think that would really smooth things over because Kenya is watching. We'll get to Kenya in a second, child. Sidebar. So apparently Laura Croft did another interview with, I think, New York Live. So let's go ahead and get into her comments really quick.
I have not seen her. I'm actually blocked. I haven't got a call, a text, an email, a group chat, nothing.
So, yeah, what was the aftermath of that whole thing like originally? Because, these get filmed months and months in advance or a year in advance, and then they come out, and then you got to deal with it all over again.
You know what? Having to just relive all of this is I mean, can you imagine having this comment with your mother?
No, I can't. I can't. And if you haven't seen the episode, you should go back and watch. But things got really ugly, really brutal between you and Kenya.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. It was kind of a low blow. It seemed like all the other girls, though, were supporting you. What did you get out of that brunch?
You know what? I felt supported when the ladies left the salon, when she did what she did. But at brunch, I was shocked that, okay, I understand you guys want to have a conversation and hear her side of the fence, but I felt that the girls didn't have my back. And I'm like, you women are mothers.
Yeah.
How would you feel if your daughter, your child was in this position? Would that be okay? We have to take your relationships out of it. I'm a woman and I'm a wife.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Colombiana, not so fast. First off, you got blocked because you threatened her life, Miss Girl. Are you having trouble connecting the dots? Because based on this clip, you don't seem that bright. This part about these women are mothers and how would you feel if your child was in that position? Well, Kenya Moore is somebody's mother too, darling. How do you think Brooklyn's gonna feel when she learned that you threatened hers? Was that okay? I'm a woman and I'm a wife. You think that that trumps the fact that she's a mother and a friend and an aunt and a cousin or whatever to somebody? She's in a relationship to other people too. So you're saying that to say what, Miss Thing? Then you want to sit up there and talk about, oh, you got to explain this and that to your mother. Did you explain to your mother that you were in men's magazines and videos as a teenager? Because you bragging about that. Meanwhile, we're questioning her parenting. But you saw fit to brag about that on TV. So I wonder what she had to say about her daughter saying that in front of millions of viewers. But all you needed to do was say you felt hurt by how Kenya responded, but ultimately you understand that she retaliated because she felt threatened because you threatened her. Done. And then we could all just move forward with the show. Kenya can come out of suspension and we can just go back to having a good show because the start of this was really so promising. But I don't know, Brit, it's like you got a smart mouth talking about how she needs to humble herself and what she did is 100 times worse. Now, slow down, Miss Aeon Flux. Because if you threaten somebody's life and then they decide to take revenge and respond in a way that you don't like, it's like, it's a consequence. It's a reaction though, babe. And you have to address that first. Somebody reacted to something that you did. You have to address where you had the situation fucked up first. I said it before and I'll say it again. What Kenya did was absolutely indefensible, right? But things are a little bit muddy here because you came into this show bragging about being a video vixen in high school, being in men's magazines as a teenager. So there was already a lot of tea about you already in the streets. A lot of people already knew your story. A lot of people already knew your situation. So listen, I'm not saying any of that to come down on the girls. I love the girls. This is a sex positive channel. This is a sex work positive channel. If you are a sex worker and you're watching this channel, know that you have my full support. We love the girls. The network seems to love the girls unless you're a producer. If you're the talent, if you are in front of the camera, it seems like, you know, the execs really like you. You know, shout out to Candy Coated Nights. Shout out to the Dungeon Tour. Shout out to the night that Porsha had rolling around with Bolo. You know, shout out to the sex workers and all of the, like, listen, we love y'all. I don't want to entertain any comments about slut shaming on my channel or anything like that and, you know, pulling hoe cards. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I just feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy around that because it's like a lot of y'all watch PORN. Like, support the talent. Just because it's something that you wouldn't do personally, it's like, okay, but you sit up and watch it. If Kenya were to only expose, you know, insurance fraud, whatever, and made it kind of relevant to we not knowing this girl, we not knowing her identity, because we know that she, you know, is a part of that world. You know what I'm saying? She came on here bragging about being in that lifestyle, so it is what it is. Own it. Own it. I feel like she owns it and she should continue to own it. And what I would like to see from her is that she get on and be like, you know what? Yes, my nudes got exposed and all of my nudes are fire. So now what? Wouldn't that be so sickening? I said all that to say we love folks in the adult entertainment industry. Like, it's no shade, it's no tea. Like, spraying that tea, I do feel like it was weak of Kenya. Like, I didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, the insurance fraud shit, that's what I'm interested in. I don't feel like G.I. Jane is wrong for wanting an apology from Kenya. I just feel like some of the language and the way that she's going about it, like, it's a little bit too much spice added to it. And I feel like if you were to just pull it back and just own your part in it and own that you are part of the reason that this got jumped off in the way that it did, then I think we could really have some progress and some movement, okay? But yeah, hopefully they can move past this and Kenya can come out of suspension and we can get the season of RHOA that we deserve. Kenya, in the meantime, I'm gonna need you to just zip it. close your mouth. Stop. Put down the phone. Somebody needs to take her phone. Kenya did drop a screenshot on her story. Kenya has a YouTube channel, and she will be sharing her thoughts and opinions on her YouTube channel next week. I think she said the 14th or the 15th, Monday or Tuesday. Either way, I'll be tuned in, but it's like, enough. Like, it's too many channels to keep up with. I don't want any of the other girls to start channels. Like, I always say, like, it's good when people start channels, but it's like, please. Like, oh, I'm so tired, honey. But listen, the girls are taking control of their narratives. You know, it's just already so much content to keep up with. I got a full-time job, y'all. It's content creators that I like to watch. It's tea being spilled. It's, you know, behind the scene things, earlier clips that, you know, you got to watch for content. Like, it's too much going on. Like, it's too much. Now, if I was a full-time content, like I do full-time content creation, but if I was doing only content creation, I think I could do a better job of keeping up. But y'all, I can't keep up. Please don't nobody else start a YouTube, okay? And then last but not least, I'll just address this really quick.
Means that the network is sending you a message. You're not as important as you think you are. The message is very clear. Either the network feels that you're still a valuable asset on the show, or they don't, and you're replaced or phased out, and you just have to move on.
Nene had some comments. Nene, girl, I feel like Nene is trying to get her lick back. Kenya's comments about Nene was Kenya getting her lick back on Nene. Because, let's be honest, Nene did treat Kenya like shit when Kenya came onto the show. And Kenya used to kiss her ass for quite some time. Kenya used to be kissing Nene's ass. Like, she really tried so hard to be friends with her. But it's like, girl, Kenya got suspended and paid. You got nothing. You're just suspended with no prospect of even coming back to the show because you tried to sue the network. You said Andy was racist and a cokehead. You burned all of your bridges. Kenya, this is why I'm going to need you to zip it before you end up in Nene's place. I don't want to hear nothing from Nene. Hating outside the club. Listen, there are so many flops on this show. Nene, Sheree, Porsha. The fact that y'all have nothing to show for all of this time that y'all have been on this show. At least with Kenya, at least we saw her moving to Kenya more hair care. She started her spa. Now it's like, girl, you have time to recover if you just be quiet. All we need you to do is be quiet and write it out. And, you know, get invited to the reunion so you can come and tell your story. And you have to be remorseful. You cannot double down on, you know, oh, it was, you know, fair use, because people were offended by the things that you've shown. You can't just show somebody nude photographs of another person in a lewd act and expect that that's going to be okay without their consent, by the way. You can't do that. I literally just got a notification from Jamie, that's me, saying, hashtag RHOA Brit Edie proves Porsha Williams to be a liar. Blames Ming Lee for sending pics to Kenya. Oh, yeah, that was the other part. That allegedly Ming Lee had sent pics to Kenya, and Ming Lee denied it. She said, well, everything, all the tea that I got on her, I got on my phone. And it's like, girl, you could have just said nothing. You could have really just said nothing. But what did I say about Porsha being a liar? What did I say, y'all? Updates in real time. Shout out to Jamie, that's me. Brit Edie, aka Colombiana, said, Internet didn't tell Kenya anything because where is it all over the internet? Ming told me herself in a drunken night at an event in Miami for a whole hour she has saved explicit images of me in her phone, saved for a rainy day. Very weird to admit to. She ain't innocent either. Can't help we dated the same people. Shrug emoji. Now, here's why I'm going to have to pull your card a little bit, Miss G.I. Jane. Because I remember a few episodes ago when you told us that your sisters used to come down to the school and fight your battles for you. So don't tell me that Ming Lee is beefing with you just because y'all used to date the same ugly ass nigga. No, that's not it. You also told us that you have an issue making friends with women. Also, I feel like Colombiana lives in the land of make-believe, right? She just makes stuff up, and it gives me that her family gassed her when she was growing up and made her feel like, don't nobody like you, these girls don't like you because you light-skinned and you pretty, right? So remember when her sister was crying at the table and saying, oh, you know, I'm so sad that me and you are not friends like that anymore because your man is always around. Colombiana took that as, oh, my sister is jealous of me and my relationship. So she is out of touch with reality. So I would like to hear more from Miss Ming Lee. Thank you. I feel like this is a pattern with Brittany ultimately. I feel like she be talking greasy to a bunch of different women and then collecting beefs like Pokemon. So Ming Lee responded and said, I wasn't drunk, and what I said verbatim was, if I had given those pictures or videos to Kenya, it would have been the ones I have in my phone of you at that party. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those are not on the internet, nor have I ever shared them or shown them to anyone, and I've had every phone since 2011. Brit, you're 1 year younger than me, so you were well over age. And this narrative that I'm mad because we dated the same person is complete BS. One of my best friends used to be his fiance, which you were cool with before you even started dating him. So stop it. I don't have a problem with you, like I said to your face, and I would never leak or share any pictures or videos of you, period. You had a past, so what? Just tell everybody your hoe got deleted and you're married now. FYI, that image from that video is still on the internet as we speak. Like I said, the internet told your business, not me. Now leave me alone. Okay, now Miss Ming, this is where I gotta pull your card a little bit. Because if you don't have a problem with that lady, why are you hoarding her nudes in your phone, Miss Thing? What? What else do I have here? Do I have any other notes? Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all she wrote. Those were my thoughts and opinions. Go ahead and get down in the comments with me. Let me know how you felt about all this, child. It's too much going on, honey. It's too much. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm posting. And I will see y'all for the next one. Peace.
Come on. It's me, Al Grande, or call me Papi Chulito. Yo tengo mucho loving for you mommies if you legal. For honeys, nothing equal to the way I tap that spot. Get your cat hot, guess what? You hit the jackpot. Candlelight dinners for you winners. See, I'm like Don Juan, beat me, sweetie. I get in ya. Sugar, I'ma put you in a beautiful...